it didn't do that at all.
Oh, even the practice run, it was fine, and then you actually go live and it's screwed. Oh God, Michael. He's not very good at this. There we go.
It didn't make any audio whatsoever.
No.
And now we've just gone live into the set.
Oh.
But
well, then how is everybody?
Yeah, welcome everybody to our third instalment.
Yeah, trying to go live and talk at the same time and do all the stuff. And sorry about my squeaky chair.
Yeah, two squeaky chairs.
This one's really squeaky. Anyway, right then. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good.
Good.
Been enjoying life now. It's took a completely different direction.
What do you mean it's took a completely different direction? Explain to people, they don't know what's going on.
Well, my old company decided after 3 years of working for them that it was time to end the contract, and that was it. Adios.
It happens, mate. I wouldn't
it does.
worry.
But it's opened new doors, and
Exactly.
I'm much better off, and I'm much happier doing what I'm doing.
One door closes, another one opens.
Yeah, well, I've made my own door, so I've made my own company now. So
that's it. I'm on the brink of doing that as well. Since COVID-19, everything's just gone.
I know. I thought me losing my job was quite bad, but you've got hit twice.
Twice, yeah. Made redundant last year, and then thought, I'll just enjoy myself for a little bit because they give me a nice big payout. So I've been there for a very long time. So and went to a new company earning good money. That lasted 2 weeks until COVID came, and they had to end a contract. So
well, unfortunately,
and I've been unemployed since.
You were just in that bracket, wouldn't you, of not been able to get furlough?
Yeah, I was just been out of it. I've just been muddling since, so it's not really the end of the world. Anyway, so
we've actually got structure to this podcast, don't we?
Yeah, I can't see the structure, so Michael's going to have to follow lead on this one. I can't see it. Okay. I've just got to do talking.
I'll go through what we've got coming up. So we've got a garage update. I think it's quite important because it's been a while since we've actually done.
I want to talk about that actual garage as well because I've got plans for that as well.
Yeah,
so I want to go into a bit of that.
We've got some car stories. So we're going to do 4. So we've got like one of experience of driving on the roads. Something that's happened, and then how we found our cars.
Just a little story, things that I find amusing.
Yeah. And then we've got what we're looking forward to in terms of going forward as a channel, and
things that we're planning on doing, and updates in general. Yeah, things that we want to crack on with.
Yeah, and we've got a section. We've got the old man grumbles.
The old man grumbles. I can't even remember what I wanted.
Something to do with horns.
Oh yeah. And if anybody at any point wants to ask a question, we don't mind answering. So we are live. So if you do want to pop in, say something in the chat, we will more than happy answer questions at any point. So
in fact, just say hello now if you're here in the chat. Say hi to us
if you're here. If you don't want it, don't bother. I don't care. The views on these do all right afterwards, so we're all right.
Yeah.
So should we jump straight into it?
Straight into car stories.
Garage
update. Sorry.
Garage update.
Can't even follow the structure.
You can't even do his structure properly. Jesus Christ. There's no hope for us. No. All right then. Cool. Go on.
Let's go straight into it. Yeah. So first car is a Focus ST 170.
That's yours, so you can talk about that.
Yep. Well, the only video we got is me introducing it to you, and a lot of things have happened since then. I've had to fix it. Well, I'll rephrase that. Jay's had to fix it. Common problems. I don't really want to go into it because we have got videos coming up on it. In fact, we have got a video of our love and hate about our cars, so I don't want to spoil too much about it.
Yeah.
The plan for that car is because I'm self-employed, it's not economical to use as a workhorse.
No.
So I am going to get another car, and so that means the ST is going to come off the road for a bit of maintenance because it needs some rust treatment.
Bit of maintenance, preventative maintenance.
Yeah, preventative maintenance.
So just the typical Ford rust issues. So we'll deal with those, and then we'll seal it all up underneath, just so it lasts a few more winters to come.
Yeah. Well,
and if you do want to use it in the winter, you can instead of having to just dry store it, so it doesn't turn into a big pile of brown dust.
Yeah. And then we've got to think about power mods, and I don't know what direction I want to go in yet. If I want to do a new engine or
we'll do styling mods first because they're easy and cheap. As when you start doing power mods, it's a big rat hole of mistakes and upsets and crying, and so we'll just leave that one for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for the ST, that engine, there's not an awful lot you can do to get power out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do throttle bodies and probably put a tune on it, but I'm only going to get the best part of 10 horsepower out of it by the time I've done all that.
And it's a lot of money to spend just for 10 horsepower when engine swaps are quite easy into that.
Yeah, a lot cheaper.
Well,
ish,
depending on which direction you want to go in. What's the next one?
It's your Audi, Jay.
Audi update. Okay, yeah, so I've been chasing a boost issue for quite a while now, so I'm still chasing that boost issue. The thing is with it is it's intermittent. So it doesn't do it all the time. So it's really hard to diagnose.
Well, it kind of didn't help when I had to have my van back in, and it just didn't want to drive.
It played up the whole time, but then it was one of the hottest days in a year, and turbo cars really struggle with that. Well, I'm assuming most turbo cars struggles. It felt a bit flat, and so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, in other updates and what I'm planning on doing with that in the future would be obviously a few more styling mods. I want to do a bit more of a, because it is my workhorse, I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I want to try and keep it stout. So I want to keep it the same on the outside, just smarten it up so it's like fresh paint.
The thing is, you don't need body kit. Your Audi looks wicked as it is. You don't need a lot.
I just need to do the drivetrain basically. I need to do cam belt water pump because it's getting close to that. I need to do clutch because it's starting to get really high now. But then I believe it's still the original clutch in the car, so can't really grovel at that. Also, what I want to do is a general service to start with. Maybe put a new turbo on because that might not help. Front mount intercooler. Build a cold air intake for it, a proper cold air intake for it, and exhaust, just so I get a little bit of noise out of it because it's a bit boring. And then it's just go through just your general bushes, your suspension, and the 4-wheel drive system knocks. So and the gear selector. The thing is, there's things on. I'll try and buy windscreen wipers for it. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, little things like that are a bit of a pain.
To be fair though, you did have a little bit of a wobble with it, didn't you? I mean, you kind of got the boost leaks fixed, and then it got to a point where it was kicking off again, and you just like, honestly, at one point you was like, I want to get rid of it. But then you kind of fell in love with it again, didn't you?
No, I didn't fall in love with it. Well, I sort of did. We were coming up to do the 10 things we love and hate, and I got it washed, and I was just like, that's a really nice looking car. I can't sell it. Every time I wash a car, I don't want to sell it anymore. Yeah,
but actually, when you actually done the video, you realise how good it actually was in a sense, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just little niggly things, really. It's not a bad car. It's just when you've got so many niggly things that annoy you about something, it's just sort of like, why do I want to waste my time and money on something? But the potential with that car is it's a solid base. It's got little niggly issues. That's it. There's no big issues. There's just little niggly ones. So if I can follow them out, then I'm good to go. Really, the car's fine. What's next?
It's the Forester, the parts car.
Oh, the parts car. Yeah, we've had lots of problems with the Impreza. No, not lots of problems, but enough problems to warrant robbing parts off the Forester, even though it's nearly done. We've got 95% there.
Yeah,
We've got
so
95.
close.
Yeah, just with everything that's going on in life, part of the update as well is like I've had to make a new unit. I've done bits and bobs. Obviously, I'm not working, so I'm having to like slink more time at the unit to try and sell more car parts to try and make a bit more money, so we can, pay bills, basically survive.
Yeah, but for you, it literally went from like life's going good,
just
to
slow.
Like, everything now, do it. Literally, wasn't
it? It just went from 0 to 100 really quick for me, and I just haven't recovered from that moment.
But to be fair, it's still not really slowed down, has it? In a sense?
No, I mean the fact that I've been in hospital today alone for issues that's caused by all that 0 to 100 stuff. It's not really helped the situation out, but we're making moves anyway. We're getting there slowly, one job at a time.
One job, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, for the Forester, we need to put the parts I've robbed off it back on it. I've ordered new parts.
Well, it's going to get newer parts, so.
Yeah, it's going to get the new parts because the Impreza broke and we had to fix it. And to test what was wrong with it, same engine, so I used those sensors, diagnosed that car. So we'll get into that in a moment.
We didn't do a video on it, guys, because it was just. You had to get it back on the road, didn't you? It was just something you had to do, and it was just...
Yeah, it was parked in a really bad location. I didn't really want to leave it there for very long. So it was more of a question of just get the car running again and get it home. So I know I can see it when I look out the window or on the camera.
Yeah.
So it's not really a massive issue. But yeah, so the Forester just needs putting back together. I've got another new battery, because the Impreza rubbed that one. So I need to put the battery on it, start it, bleed it, and there's a few bits we need to put back on, and the exhaust, all the cowling, but that's all in another episode.
Hopefully MOT.
Yeah, I really would like to finish the video on that with hopefully an MOT certificate. If not, then I'm going to be pretty upset, because it's been about a year now we've had that car.
Honestly, guys, that car was just supposed to be a 3-part episode of what's wrong with it, fix it.
Buying a cheap Japanese car that's been sat for 4 years at the time, and it's so easy to buy a car that's been sat for 3 years. It's no problem. It runs and drives, and then get it home, and every orifice is leaking on it. And then being a Subaru, it's not been a nice experience.
Well, it was the stupid stuff, wasn't it? Like, I'll put some new discs and pads on it. Oh,
normal stuff.
The bearings are gone.
Yeah, the bearings are falling out of it. Okay, then, so we have to go and get new bearings. And then you go and you look at all the bushes, and you're like, the bushes are hanging out of it, so I have to go buy new bushes, and it's just started spiraled out of control.
Yeah. And then
it is what it is.
Flip the key, oil.
Oil everywhere, and it tried to set itself on fire a few times, and oh my god, that car. It's been fighting us every step of the way. And literally. I think it just likes being a garden ornament. We'll find out. The next one is the
Skyline.
Oh, the Skyline. Yes, that has been taken off the road. It doesn't. I think the water pump's leaking on it, so the RB25 in that is not a very happy girl at the moment. She's running a bit hotter than normal, but in 10 years of ownership for YouTube sponsor, it's never missed a beat. So she's allowed to. She's allowed to throw a wobbler every now and then. Every other car's had attention, bar her. So,
well, I think it's the kind of car you don't want to mess around with.
So yeah, we don't really want to mess around with it. But yeah, the plans for that is we're gonna do same as Michael's, do a bit of a resto mod when I fix a few bits. I know the fiberglass needs sorting out on the front bumper, because that's been smashed off, so we need to fix that. So that could be a cool episode on how to repair your body kit, sort of thing, if you're into that sort of stuff, obviously. Again, just to we're going to change cam belt, water pump, because obviously it needs the water pump, so we might as well change cam belt order, change all the spark plugs, do fluid change, and then just tidy up all the engine bay and go over it, and just tidy.
Well, you want to get a whole new hose kit for it, didn't you, and pretty it up and stuff like that. Yeah,
basically, yeah. I just want to go through the car and make sure everything's good. So we will pursue with that one, but that'll probably be this time. Well, not this time next year, but
it'd be definitely next year.
Early next year, probably getting ready for the summer next year for YouTube.
Like the car shows we've had this year.
Yeah, well, we got invited to go to Coventry Motor Fest, and that fell through because of COVID. So hopefully we get invited back next year, and hopefully the channel will grow a little bit more with some of the content we've got coming. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's next on the list, Michael?
It is the STI.
The STI.
The broken, not broken.
The
son,
broken,
prodigal son.
Yeah. The three. Well, I can't really say really, can I? I've been sworn to the grave that I'm not allowed to tell how much money got spent on that car. Not a very lot anyway.
No.
But for what's on it,
for
what's on it, it's a phenomenal car.
If you've seen the video, guys, honestly, if you saw that on the road, you'd think it was nothing. But
it honestly looks like
a piece. Most cars, I would say. Definitely.
It's a rusty heap of junk, and it needs sorting out. It's been
but
again, it's the same story as a Forester. It's been sat for a few years. But it went for its MOT as soon as we got it out.
Yeah.
And it's been fine, but it's just got these high horsepower car niggly issues, sort of thing. Choose cam sensors, and we found out the meth kit is the solenoid's constantly open. So when you flick the meth kit on,
it's just constantly pumping.
It just drowns the engine out. So yeah, it makes it misfire, and it's just been. I don't know whether to pull it off. I need to do a bit more research, and the previous owner, I'm going to try and get hold of him and just see where he stands, and because he's good at what he does, but it could just be something that I've done. I'm not up on that sort of stuff, so I need to pick his brain a bit and just learn the knowledge on that system, so I can get through that bit and make it work. But it could just be a faulty part, just from being sat, because it's been sat with methanol in it inside it.
Well, so it's gone from not being used to got used quite a bit.
Being abused, more like. But yeah, the other stuff on that car is I don't know what to do, or whether to keep it as a full-on track car as is and just use it as a track car. But being how temperamental it is, it might end up being just a track car. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I want to pretty that thing up, repaint it, and potentially put an interior back in it, but only the front half.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of going down the road and it just sounding like a race car when you're trying to drive it normally.
And the fact when it's in the summer, you can't open no windows, so you just bake into death, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. The windows don't. Well, they work, but you have to put a battery kit to them, so it's not really an ideal thing. So I have actually ordered door looms and I've ordered door cards, but I can actually take the switches out of the door cards and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I've ordered that stuff, so we'll see what happens, whether it gets put in the car or not. But definitely need to make the windows work. Yeah. So door looms will be going back in, unless anybody's got any windy windows. I don't mind doing that and then putting like a lightweight carbon sheet over the door.
Yeah.
That then it doesn't matter with a strap on it, so you can actually reach it when you've got your harness on. So yeah, it's a bit awkward that, but yeah.
But you are in a fortunate position where like you've got plenty of cars to drive, so it's not a massive issue if it doesn't have the interior but back in, because
I think I need to be sponsored by Keeps. Jesus, look at that receding hairline there. I have got a lot of cars around me, so it's not a massive issue as such, but one of those things, it's still, I'd like every car to work at the same time, and I know having so many project cars and potentially getting more, it'll never happen. We still got to do the banker car actually. Because of COVID, it never happened. The banker car, the driveway dynamics banker car.
That stuff.
Yeah, the Mini, that should be coming up soon actually. The Mini restoration. Hopefully that'll go ahead. I can't wait. I really do need to get that going. Yeah. I know he's getting impatient himself, and I'm getting impatient because I've just, like you say, 0 to 100 in my life is just gone crazy. So we'll see what happens. And what next?
It's the dark horse.
The dark horse, the thing that no one knows about. Right, I'll give you a little backstory on this. Only people that are going to watch this video / podcast thing. Basically, it's just an episode, but we're going to call it a podcast because we're talking a lot.
Yeah.
It's our little enjoyment. So it's basically mine and Michael's catch up, and then we get to put a video out, and it keeps content going. Blah blah blah. You understand? And eventually, one day, hopefully, they do well enough that we can do one a week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see, or one a month. But yeah, this is a dark horse. We keep leading little hints over the channel what this car is. It's nothing special. Like, it's nothing that's going to blow people's minds, but it's special enough to me.
If you're a Ford guy,
yeah, if you're a Ford guy,
you'd
appreciate it at least. But what we're going to do to it is hopefully a first for YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
And probably first in the community for that car. It's been done on previous older models of that car.
Yeah, but not your car.
This car. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't found any yet. But if people see this and go, well, I've done it, then comment. And then I need to pick your brain.
To be fair, I'm super... Like, honestly, like... Do you know you get cars? Like, you got the Skyline, you got the Subaru and stuff, and you love them, but that Escort... It's not doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Escort, yeah.
You've never seen it, so it's good. I absolutely love this car.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my car, but I can't explain how like excited I am to like just
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Car. Yeah, I've had this car for a fair few years, but the reason why I love this car so much is because it's one of them. Obviously, not many people know, but I've had a bit of brain damage as such, and I don't have a very good memory. So there's certain things that stand out to me. There's certain memories that I have as a child, and that's one of them is driving that car. Well, not me, person driving, but going away with my mum and her partner in that car when I was a kid, and he had that from now on new. And the fact that I'm the next person to own that car is just sort of like, you're keeping a piece of your own memory. Like, it's something that I remember. So for me, it's worth a lot more in that sense. But yeah, it's shit slow. Yeah. They're dog crap slow. So I just need to sort that out and make sure that I can fix it.
Well, if you went to a car show, it'd stand out because of how it looks. It's just, it doesn't go.
It's all show and no go. No, it's not. I wouldn't even say that. It's the standard car basically. It's just got the normal odds, wheels. It's got a lip on the front of it, and it's got an exhaust on it, and some Lexus lights that have been tinted because they're horrible if they're not tinted. And I'm going to put some standard ones back in. I think I've been looking at the rear of the car in the car park where the unit is, and I'm like, nah, it's not doing it for me anymore. Those Lexus lights are just not doing it for me anymore. Tinted or not tinted, they just don't do it. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So with that car, it's going to be another thing that we've been hinting on the channel is the 1.8 turbo stuff.
Yeah.
Why we've been collecting 1.8 turbos and stuff like that. So that's what that car's receiving, and hopefully she'll have a nice healthy poke of 280 or 300 odd horsepower, which is more than enough for that chassis. That's all it needs.
Yeah.
Just to make it fun and usable.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it unreliable. we'll have too many unreliable cars otherwise. Every other car will be reliable.
That's kind of the update on the vehicle side of it.
Oh, and I'm going to be a dad.
That is a big, massive update, yeah.
Yeah, if my life couldn't get any worse, I'm going to be a dad.
I wouldn't say that, mate.
No, I'm alright with it. I'm fine with it. No, honestly, I'm excited, but yeah, it's just a bad timing. It's someone I've wanted for so many years, and it's just happened at the wrong time. Oh well.
There's never a good time of a baby.
Nah, that's what I say. You could. There's crackheads out there having kids and still managing to feed them, so, or in some cases not.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I'm in a fortunate position where I've got a good family, so they can all feed it. I've got YouTube stuff to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, next sector, Michael. Come on.
So now we're on to car stories.
Ooh, okay.
So how we're going to do this is, I'm going to do. Oh, let's just go into it. I'll do my story.
You're going to do your story, or do you want to do the other part? Because you've got two different things. Do you want to do the cars first and the stories after, or do you want to do the stories?
We'll do the stories because we've already talked about the cars a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the car? I can't remember what we're going to do. I've lost it. This is what I mean by about the brain.
So yours is that your first.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you just gently nudge me, and I'll know. It'll kick in.
Oh. Someone needs to get
a silencer on his motorbike, or just buy a better motorbike because he's got a hairdryer with a proper.
He's got a 1-2 foot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just the road I live on. I live on a big hill, so everybody tries to get to 100 mile an hour by the bottom. Ends badly every time. Or sadly disappointed. So yeah.
But I'll jump straight into my story. So during the midst of COVID, I was
Is this when you were back at your old company?
Yeah, it's when I'm back at my old company.
Well, the
old company. We were doing work for one of the biggest internet providers in the country.
Who's that?
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, okay.
But I had to join the midst of COVID because of the upgrade. Well, because of the amount of people on the internet, we was upgrading the services so they could deal with the pressure of it, basically.
Okay.
So we got sent to Scotland, and we was in a Renault Traffic, 16 plate. So it's not
old, it's not new, but it's just like it's in the midst of being used. But if it's a work van, then it's probably been battered.
Yeah, when I got it, 6 was like winding, 5th was like a little bit winding, and I did say to them, something wrong with the van, and they just kept going. You just have to drive it basically till it's pretty much dead.
Oh right, so, great company.
So we got up to Glasgow, and I literally was an hour away from Glasgow from my hotel.
Yeah.
And I have my headphones in watching YouTube, and next thing you know, I'm getting a nudge like it's making a sound. Took my headphones out, and all you could hear was
a really nasty chafing noise.
Yeah. Oh my god. So mate pulled in. I opened the bonnet, and in fact, the battery case, the battery top of it cover, was flying around the engine bay. I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is then. Put it back on, started it back up, and it sounded like a bag of nails. Until he put his foot on the clutch. Put the foot on the clutch, all the noise went. Took his foot off, noise was coming back. I was like, in fact, I remember phoning you. I was like,
yeah,
Jay, what's this noise? And you're like, it's probably your gearbox.
Well, yeah, it's like, from what the information I got, I got to bearing in mind that you're miles and miles miles away from me. So, you know, having a phone call and going, what's this? And, you know, trying to diagnose a car over sound alone and a little bit of information is it's not impossible, but it's really difficult.
But you may be wondering why I'm telling this story, because this is where it gets interesting. So I phoned the RAC.
Yeah.
It took 2 hours for them to come get us, even though it was on the hard shoulder with no way of getting out, because it was on a steep embankment, so we had to sit in it. So I thought it would have been a bit more a priority, because you're supposed to get out your vehicle and all that kind of stuff. But the guy was like, stay in the van, you can't get out, just stay in it. Ended up getting turned onto the back of the truck. And I didn't think we were allowed to do this. We got turned on the back of the truck, sat on top of the flatbed, still in it, pulls off to the next services, still driving. I didn't know. I thought, are we allowed to do this? Because what happens if something happens and a van tips over and we're in it? Like, who's liable for that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Got in touch with the services and he went, can't take you any further. Took all the stuff out. He went, I've got to go back to Manchester. So he was going not in the opposite direction because you're not allowed to stay in the van because of COVID and everything. You can't stay in it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then the RAC, like, okay, then we're going to get a taxi to take to Glasgow Airport to pick up a hire car. Sweet. Hour later, jumped in the taxi, got up to Glasgow Airport. This point, we're 10 minutes from the hotel. Literally 10 minutes from the hotel. Hire company car closed. Closed at 4 o'clock. This was like 5. So back on the RAC, I was like, everywhere's closed. And the taxi driver was like, oh, I'll drive you back. Don't worry about it.
It's just seen
honestly, yeah, he did. And then the woman was like, okay, we're going to have to get your taxi back. Is the guy alright dropping you back? I was like, yes, he's more than happy to take us back. Back home. Not back to the hotel. Back to Birmingham. So this is why
all the way to Scotland.
Literally 10 minutes from the hotel.
So you got all. So basically, what you're saying is the van broke down 10 minutes away from your. Oh, sorry,
the van
broke down on the motorway.
Yeah.
You got dragged 10 minutes away from the
hotel
in a service station. So you had to leave your van and your tools, and you
Yeah.
wanted to go and get a hire car so you could carry on with the job because you were 10 minutes away. You were there.
Yeah.
You were at the job.
Yeah.
And then because COVID screwed everybody, it screwed you and your company, and then you had to get a taxi back from Scotland.
Yeah, back to Birmingham.
6.5
hours.
Yeah.
Well, I think the hire car company must have sorted out a price, but the taxi driver went, I'll flick on the meter just to see how much it's going to cost.
All right.
How much do you reckon? I don't know if I told you.
I don't have a clue. I'm gonna for a taxi back from Scotland.
On the
yeah,
meter.
it cost me £10 to get from the city centre to my house. 600 odd quid.
650 quid.
Oh wow, 600 and a chunk of change.
Well, we didn't have to pay for it, but it was just like one of those things where like we set off at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's now 11:30 and I'm still not home.
Wow, that's terrible.
Well, we had to wait for the RAC to drop the van back off.
Can you literally, the taxi driver was obviously as sound as a pound, but couldn't he like just say, look, how long you here for? I'll drop you off at the hotel with your tools. I'll pick you up in the morning. I'll take you to your job.
It's all the equipment we had for the upgrade was on the van. We couldn't. The van was full.
So what happened? No, dragging. So I'm just thinking, like, you got to leave the van there with all the special equipment on there for a company you're not allowed to talk about for the major upgrade that you were doing. What happens if the van got broken into?
I made the inquiries and they were like,
screw it.
Well, that's what we got insurance for. I was like, fair enough. That's the way you want. That's the way you want to play it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I suppose that is what insurance is for.
But then, like, we had to go back to the office, pick up a new van, wait for it to get dropped off, and drive back to Scotland.
Don't empty the stuff out of the van.
Yeah, so I had to swap with all the vans over. And guess what that was doing?
The same noise.
The same noise, yes.
But did you get home?
I did.
Nah, don't worry about it then. I wouldn't. So.
And then, like, that wasn't my van, that was another guy's van. So
Yeah.
he had his van back. They gave me another van. Exact same thing. No, I'm not even BSing here. I had 4 vans all making the same noises. The second one I had before I handed it back, this really annoyed the site manager. So we was down London, van's parked up, and he goes, "Oh, can you move your van out of the way?" Fresh new concrete. I was like, "Alright, then move it out of the way." Biggest oil patch you've ever seen in your life. Pissing oil everywhere. And the site manager was like, he was fuming, like brand spanking new concrete, just decimated with oil.
Yeah, but it's what your company, your old company provided with you. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, they obviously didn't like looking after the fleet of vehicles to get their staff around. So that's not on you, that's on them.
Yeah,
you know.
But no, I thought it'd be quite a nice story to.
That's crazy. Like having to get 10 minutes away from where you needed to be, and then having to get a taxi back from Scotland, which isn't an enjoyable drive anyway.
Well, the guy who done it, he made a lot of money out of it, so he was happy enough. And I was happy because I didn't have to drive. Just sat in the passenger, sat in the back, and
watching YouTube and sleeping.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Bless you. Right then, so my story is basically it's my first car, and it's not my first accident. I can explain the first accident, but when you first pass your test and you've got a lowered, well, mine was a Mark IV Escort Estate. It was a 1.6 CVH on big carbs. and a big lumpy cam. So I've got videos of it, and it sounds like a V8, even though it was a 4-cylinder. It was just a nutty car. I loved it. But the story that I want to talk about is basically my first major car accident with this car, and it isn't. I've never had an accident ever since, and I wouldn't even call it a major accident.
Because you didn't write the car off, did you?
I didn't write the car off, no, because I drove home. In fact, I dropped the girl off that headbutted me in the back off home. But yeah, basically, where we live, there's a lot of country roads. You know, we're on the border between Birmingham, Coventry, and we're in the middle bit of. Well, I'm in the middle bit of that. So there's a lot of country lanes, and you know,
it's quite nice.
Got a nice big road that we can drive down. So I've spent a year. I passed my test, and I spent a year building this car. I hadn't got a clue. Bearing in mind, I was just an apprentice body worker at the time and an apprentice mechanic for a little garage. So I'm learning as I'm going, sort of thing. I'm doing things and learning. So there's little things like rear seat belts that weren't put in the car, and you know, because I had the seats out a lot to do sound systems, and you get the gist. It was a ropey mess.
Yeah,
it was a ropey mess. I mean, the fact that the wheel fell off 3 times, I couldn't work it out why the wheel kept falling off until I realised that you can't put steel wheel bolts on alloys because they back off. As I found out.
What else did you do though with your wheels?
Well, this is what caused the accident. Let me explain it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Me and my friend, we decided that we wanted to go and pick up a girl. We didn't know who was gonna do what with her or whatever. It was just a lucky gamble, whoever she took to. So this is what me and my friend used to do. We used to go pick up a girl and see who was the lucky one. 8 times out of 10, I was the lucky one. So win-win for me. Either way. Went to go pick up this girl, and we were driving back to his house for a change. We used to stay at his at the weekend. His parents used to go on holiday, whatever. We used to use their facilities as a bit of a pad. Yep. So it was a nice weekend. Anyway, so we were driving back, and again, because I was an apprentice mechanic, apprentice body worker for a small place, I didn't realise that your tyres, your rotational semi-slick tyres, had to be put on a certain way. Like
they're not your box standard tyres, are they?
They weren't. No, they were Toyo Proxies, the R888s. I've never had a set since, but they were great tyres. Apart from when it rained, and you had them on backwards, which means the water wasn't being repelled out; it was being repelled in. Which then, if you hit a roundabout at a certain amount of speed, then you lose control. So I've lost control of
said car,
said Escort, in the dry. Weirdly, and we're going sideways around this roundabout, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got full opposite lock, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna make it. I am absolutely gonna look like a true champion. I'm gonna make it in a front wheel drive car, sideways. Yeah, I hit a dry patch, and the car decided that it didn't like going sideways anymore and wanted to go forward. So you can imagine a roundabout, and it's got big lorry curbs on it, big huge lorry curbs to stop them from driving up and over. The rear axles just skid off them, basically. I've hit that head on, like completely stop. The girl in the back that we were betting on trying your luck with. She's, because I've got no seatbelts in the back, headbutted me because I didn't have a rear headresting because I thought they looked ugly at the time with my Recaro. So she's headbutted me clean in the back of the head, and she's basically broke her nose. She's bleeding everywhere in the back of my car. I've got a little tiny 300mm steering wheel in a car that's got no power steering. But my arms were big at the time, so you learn how to drive it. Yeah. And everything about that was mental. And the fact that it was mid rush hour traffic and no one would let me reverse off the roundabout so I could drive off. They just were driving around me. Yeah. And it took me about 20 minutes to basically grow a pair of nuts and just reverse out into traffic. I didn't go up the curb, I just hit the curb. So I'm taking a lane and a half up, and then people are coming round really fast. Jumping, and no one thought just to stop and let me reverse off so I could get out of everybody's way. They just drive around me. So anyway, we managed to get off, and I drive up the road, and all I'd done was pop the bracket for the bumper and done the fiberglass bit where I'd fiberglassed the bottom lip on for a 90s spec RS Turbo. Yeah. I'd fiberglassed it onto the standard bumper, cut the holes out and filled it basically. That cracked, popped, broke the bumper bracket. So
I remember seeing the photos.
The old drift stitching back in the day, so I could keep it together because I thought that was a cool look. But yeah, so I did that anyway, and I drove her home because I didn't want to sleep with her after that. She's got a bloody nose. I'm not into that sort of stuff. So we took her home. The car drove fine. Put drift stitches in, and yeah, we went from there really. But it's just little things like that teach you big lessons. You know, just make sure that everything's tickety boo before you, or at least look at your tyres and see if there's an arrow on it. So yeah, that's my story. You got to live and
learn, and you got to do these kind of things just to. You know what I mean? There's no point having a boring life, is there really?
No, exactly. You've got to do these things to live and learn. So, but yeah. Right, next bit. Next sector.
This bit is... Me and Jay thought it'd be a cool idea to tell you a bit of backstory about our cars and how we found them.
Well, certain cars.
Certain cars. Well, our dailies for now. So we're going to start with what we drive every day.
Yeah.
The dailies.
Yeah. I've got a lot of cars, so it's hard. And I've had a lot of cars in the past as well, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll let you go first about the focus, yeah.
So what was weird with this one is the day before we had a barbecue, didn't we? You come over because
bearing in mind this is just when the lockdowns come in. Well, in Britain anyway, the lockdown was starting to get eased, and you're allowed to go and see family members
in the gardens.
Yeah, you weren't allowed in the house, but you were allowed in the gardens and socialise at a distance. So that's what we did. We had a barbecue. Sort of, I don't know how you can socially distance passing me a plate, but hey, whatever.
Well, passing your food to you.
Yeah, whatever. Everything's been a shambles with the lockdown anyway.
But I think I was annoying you a little bit because I was like, I don't know what to trade. Like, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. And
I wasn't annoyed.
Oh, okay. Well, in the end,
I get annoyed.
It was like phone this one. So phone that one. It was in Warwick because I was worried about how getting it back, and you were like, just drive it back.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we'll get a car behind you and we'll follow you.
And it was for a good price. Yeah, but yeah, it was for a good price. So I phoned it up. Woman was like, "Oh, they're not took that photo trader yet." I was like, "Oh, bit downhearted because it didn't have that colour. I couldn't see it anywhere." And then the next day, sat in the garden, one pops up round the corner from me. I'm not even joking.
Like literally round the corner from your house.
I could walk to it. Well, I drive everywhere, and if I walk to it, it's close.
I've seen that car drive past that guy drive past up and down the shop in it.
Have you?
Yeah, I had done in the past.
So like, he put it up. I went round that day, went to see it. And then, for the money he was asking for it, and for what I got for it, I couldn't say no.
You want to let everybody know how much you paid for that car?
I don't.
Why?
I just don't want it.
Why?
I just don't want it.
Okay.
We'll keep it at that.
Okay.
I paid less than £1,000. We'll keep it at that. It was considering the prices now. If you look at them now,
yeah, they've shot up all of a sudden.
They've gone up.
Literally, that was the most perfect purchase at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of stuff you got with that car was crazy.
Yeah.
But it was just all happened so fast. It was sort of like,
yeah, because I was like, when I bought it, I was like, oh, do I phone Jay? Do I do Peter? And I was like, do you know what? Grow a set of balls more. I can actually go and do something without anyone being there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I did have a look at it, and I looked at it, and I thought, oh, yeah, I'm gonna have this car. It's something I was after for a while, wasn't it?
I've always said to anybody, it's one of these things that, if you want something, have it, because you only have one life. And if you don't have it, you're always going to regret not having it. So yeah, it's just one of those things. If you want something, have it, and while it's still affordable. I mean, I'd love to have an R34 GTR or an R33 GTR or an R32 GTR, and the prices, they're a bit too much now. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to have too much of that happen.
Oh, well, when I bought it as well, I took it back, and I had that. I don't know if you probably don't get this, but I had a bit of regret. Not regret, but I was like, have I made the right decision here? Have I done the right thing? And when I finally got up the road and I surprised you with it.
I sort of knew when he said you had to surprise me that you'd bought a car.
Yeah.
When you said there was a surprise, so I sort of knew that you'd bought a car, but when I was looking at it and I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? That's the thing. That's the only thing I'm concerned about is what is wrong with this car and how much of a heartache it's going to be for me to fix it. I don't mind. Yeah. Whatever it takes, I'll get it done. But it's just sort of like caught me at one of those moments where I'd been working on my own all day. I was tired.
Yeah.
Trying to record a video that still hasn't been finished recording.
It's still sat there, isn't it?
It's still sat there. Yeah. It's just a donor car video on why donor cars. Why you should buy this type of donor car. So, but yeah, it didn't annoy me. It just was one of those things. It's sort of like I like to be consulted. I don't like surprises. It's just one of those things. I don't physically like surprises.
Yeah.
So,
but It's not the fastest car in the world. I'm not gonna. It's probably this is the slowest car that it's in the channel. But it handles great, and for me, because I'm not used to driving like the Subarus and like big horsepower cars, I think for me it's perfect because I can do a bit of learning in it, take it on tracks, know the limits of it before I start jumping up in the powers. Yeah.
Thing is with you there's some things that you lack with confidence, and a car like that would bring you confidence. Like, you know, when we drove down the street, you know, for me, as I grew up, I like to push myself. I like to push my limits. I like to do things. I'm a little bit sketchy at times, you know, but then that's just the way me and my friends have grown up. Yeah. We taught each other how to drive by chasing each other through the lanes and getting really damn right dangerous with it. You know, but as we've got older, we've relaxed because there's more cars on the road. You know, these places that we tend to race are now being watched more. So for me, it's sort of like we calm down, but every now and then I get fruity. I do have those moments, and I'm pretty good at finding the car's limits. Yeah. You know, again, normally when people have McDonald's and milkshakes in their lap, when I find the limits of the car. So, you know, don't spill that milkshake because you'll be cleaning it back up. So, you know, and the next thing you know, I'm racing through the lanes and, you know, big speeds. But
I actually proper love that car though. I'm so glad. And now I've like, had it a bit and I'm driving it. I just
it's
love
a
it
great
so
normally
much.
aspirated car for the money and for the car itself and parts. It's just a great all-round car. It's just good to just go and rage on it, and it doesn't do anything.
There's such a following. I didn't realise there was a big following on it. There's such a following on it, and it's nice to be part of that community, and like, where people are like just appreciate what you've got and are not. Because I've heard of some like the Mark 6 Fiestas and that community, like they're all quite bitchy, should I say? But
there's a lot like the VW community. It can be very nasty sometimes. You know, at the end of the day, it's your car, it's your rules. So if what you think looks good, it might not look good to somebody else. I know there's things that you want to do to your car, and I go, ugh. Yeah. But it's your car. Yeah. You do what you want to do to it. Yeah. So you know, that it's just the way it is. That's just car things in person. But however long I've been around cars, it's never changed. Yeah. There's things that people didn't like about my Escort, but I was totally in love with it. Yeah. I loved it.
I know what you're saying.
So you know, yeah, we'll get on to my one, which is the Audi. How I come across finding and buying that, which was it was just pure fluke, really. I just happened to be speaking to a friend of mine about buying a donor car for the Escort because I was going to go down the Honda route with the Escort, you know, sleeve it, forge it, and go for big power and turn it into a drag car. A front wheel drive drag car, but it's a lot of money, it's a lot of effort, and it's something that, you know, I haven't really got the time for.
Alright, Stu.
Hello, Stu. How are we, sir? Yeah, it's not something I really have the time for, so. But I still want to do this conversion, so we come on to the fact of, like, a lot of people are saying the 1.8 turbo, the BAM engines, you know, the AGUs, you know, they're good, you can make decent power, and they're cheap. You can keep buying engines for them. So, you know, with me and YouTube sponsor, aka Big Dad, we started going a bit wild with our ideas, and you know, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. So it turned out to be that we'd buy a Quattro, and we would slam a Quattro system into a Ford Escort GTI, Mark 7 Escort GTI Quattro system, and forge it and have a 4-wheel drive monster.
Yeah, which is going to be.
Yeah, in its own right, it will be eventually. But then as time goes on, you know, do I, don't I? But then me and my friend were talking anyway, and he said, oh, my dad's got an Audi A4 1.8 turbo Quattro, and he's thinking about selling it. I was like, well, I'll break it to make my money back on it. So even if I have the 4-wheel drive system out of it, as long as you're saying the interior and the body panel's good, I'll sell those, make my money back, and then I've got a free drivetrain for an engine, you know, an engine swap basically, and a free drivetrain swap for my Escort. Which is the way I like to look at things. You know, when if you want to do an engine conversion, you want to try and buy a whole car, so you can sell parts, make your money back. So what the person's asking for and what what you can sell the parts for, you have to weigh up those options.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how you get things done for free
or
very cheap.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Another thing as well is the car you had at the time, your Beamer. You wasn't enjoying it, was you? At all.
I got lied to when I bought that. I thought I was buying something totally different, and I got there and I'd already paid for the car, and it was sort of one of those things. I drove away and I thought it was broken, and it turns out it was very broken, and it's never really recovered from that. But yeah, that's gone now.
Well, that's another factor in why should we say?
Yeah, it was another factor why this car got chose. Well, the Audi got chose to be my daily. So anyway, I was chatting to a friend, and he said his dad's selling the car, and I was like, well, tell you what, ask him how much he wants for it. Okay, he wants this much for it. So, and I was like, yeah, cool. Give me some time. I'll get some money together, and we'll. So, but you know, as life happens, you move on a little bit, and a few months had went past, and he's like, oh, you know, my dad's selling the car now. Do you want it? And I was like, oh, crikey, yeah. That couldn't fall at a perfect time. Get my redundancy, blah blah blah. You know, I was like, I'll have the money. I'll come see you in a couple of weeks. Wicked. I was like, can I have this picture of the car? I didn't even see what I'm buying, you know. If I'm paying 750 quid for a car, I need to know what I'm buying, just so I can see, you know. And Alex was like, no problem. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Sent me a few pictures, and I was like, that car's gorgeous. That car is absolutely gorgeous. You know, and I've been told it, you know, the inside's a little bit drabby, the spoiler rattles, the lights fill up with water, the rear light fills up with water, which it still does, even though it's had 2 new sets. You know, and the engine management light's on, and it's not got all its power, and I'm like, this just seems like niggly bits. I can sort that out, no problem. So I'll go up there, and a friend of mine, well, cameraman Stu, he takes me up to London. So we get there, we're looking around the car. You know, someone had backed into it a few weeks before, and you know,
a few little dents.
Yeah, a few little dents, and the bodywork ain't great, and you know, there's a few scuffs and scratches, but overall, the car for the money is absolutely mint. And I'm like, I feel like I'm stealing it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm looking at this
I had
car.
the same feeling with my...
Yeah, you know that guilt comes over, and you know, I speak to Alex's dad, and he's like, no, it's fine. He goes, I just want rid of it. He goes, the cash will go into my new card. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, cool. So I'm driving it back from London anyway, and I take my diagnostics with me. I turn the engine management light off and then see what it does, and it's fine, but it comes back on straight away. But it's telling me it's a cam sensor, which I'm like, 1.8 turbos are common for these, and they're a doddle to change, and they're not that expensive. So I'll order one when I get home. Driving it back from London, and it's like, you know, you got cameraman Stu telling me that it looks absolutely beautiful in the rearview mirror. It looks so aggressive, and I'm like, the more I look at it, the more I like it, and I'm like, I haven't got the heart to break this car. I really haven't got the heart to break this car. So I'm like, I'll park it up. And I'll leave it, and I'll see how I feel about it in a couple of weeks. And the BMW was getting more and more annoying, and little things were creeping up here and there, and I'm just like, do you know what? Screw this car, it's gone. And I had them both running at the same time, and I just kept drawing to the Audi every single time. Yeah. So
this is one of those situations where Jay genuinely fell in love with his car. Like,
yeah, I didn't want to.
Unexpected.
I didn't want to fall in love with the car, but I did, and it's just like everything about that car. Just I hated Audis. I hated all the VW scene. I was like a Ford man through and through, and I thought, I'll change. This would be that was my second BMW anyway, and the first one I didn't have a very good experience with. You know, the fact that I tried to drift it round and roundabout, and the radio whacked me in the nuts. Trying to give it a little clutch click, and it whacked me in the nuts, so I weren't really impressed with it. The wheel blew out at 80 mile an hour and nearly took a woman out eating a McDonald's in a Vauxhall Corsa. That was my first, my E36, and then I got that E91.
Your 1 Series?
Yeah, my 1, it's not a 1 Series, yeah, whatever it is, G, whatever. Anyway, I got a 1 Series, and again, I had nothing but heartache after heartache after heartache. 50 Shades of Red I used to call it, because it was 50 Shades of Red. From a picture, it looked absolutely clean. You know, there was not a mark on it. You got there and it's like every single panel's been painted.
And that's another thing with that car as well. It was one of those cars as well where like you put it in the car park, come back, and there'd be another scratch or a dent on it. And that's what it was for you. Like, so didn't someone scrape the back bumper trying to reverse out?
Yeah, that was outside my uncle's house. Yeah, I went round there. I went for a cup of tea. Nothing harmless. We just went for a cup of tea, see how he was. You know, I come out and then someone had took the corner of the bumper off. You know, like swiped it off. I'm like, no decency in the world anymore. So that happened, and then you know you go out there and they're like parking it at the work car park where I was at the time, and just constantly getting more and more dings and dings and dings. You know, and it was pretty clean before. The only dent that was on it was on the bonnet. And then it was just littered with it. Paint was falling off it. Lacquer was peeling here from bad paint jobs, and I was just getting sick of it. You know, not only the fact that it needed 4 new lambda sensors as well. Yeah. It needed 4 new lambda sensors, and they're £160 a piece, and it needed all 4. What bad luck was that?
And your save cylinder and the clutch. You need a new clutch at some point, didn't it? As well.
Yeah, slave cylinder clutch.
And that wasn't cheap.
Nah, for a BMW, yeah. Well, they're not cheap to buy, but obviously I can install it myself, so I can save the cost there. So that's not a problem. As for the rest of it, it's just little electrical issues, you know, running issues, and the fact it wasn't fast anyway.
It's quite funny how you had polar opposite of cars. One you just kind of despise. Should we not that photo?
Probably.
Yeah, one you kind of despised, and one you just like naturally fell in love with, and it's just like.
If the cat knocks the photo off, just be warned. It's Molly. She knows the camera's rolling. Don't worry about it. Makes for an internet video.
What's she doing?
She's a little turd. She's right behind my head. But yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, how I got the Audi and the price that I paid for it.
It's a wicked story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you don't. It's like love at first sight, really. When I seen it, I was like, I can't break this car. It's just, you know.
And it turns out it's a bit of a rare model, not a rare car. It's a bit of a rare model.
It's a bit. The Audi, the actual car itself is sort of the colour, the body kit that's on it, and the interior and the actual drivetrain itself. Audi didn't make very many of those.
No,
they didn't make
especially
many
the petrol as well.
Yeah, it's an S4 layout. But with a really small engine.
Yeah.
So I think at the time, Audi were trying to get their sportier versions of their vehicles out, but to the younger generation,
who could afford the
insurance, and even though it's like nearly £500 a year to tax the bloody thing, because he classes a four before.
Yeah.
Even as an estate car. But yeah, so you know, it is what it is. I do like the car, but sometimes any car owner will know that they hate their car at some point. You just get sick of its shit.
I had the same thing with mine when it kept leaking.
You just get sick of it and sick of the stuff that ends up happening with it. So everybody goes through these dull patches. But my advice to you is, if you're sick of your car, go and get it washed. It always works for me. I love it after it's been washed. So yeah, if you're sick of your car, get it washed.
And then they'll do a top 10 video on it, and you'll see how much you like it.
The thing is with the Audi is that when it's running great, it is a great car and it's powerful. But
it's comfy as well. It's so comfy.
Yeah, dude. Let's get away from the Audi, man. The Audi's stealing all the limelight. Next bit. Barry Simmons, thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. We are trying. Bear with us. It's all slow progress. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We're looking. Well, sorry guys. You think I've prepared this before, but it's what we're looking forward to, like in terms of the channel.
Oh yeah, things I'm looking forward to, and it's just seeing what happens over the next couple of years, because we obviously don't make money out of it.
No.
Which most channels, you know, they say they don't want to make money, but the reason why they're on YouTube is so they can make money. The plan is obviously to try and make this a thing where we can upload regularly and turn it into a living, so you know, provide content. But with the cars that we've got,
well, the amount of cars we've got to do, and the funds are just not there.
Yeah,
really.
But the thing is, as well, is like where we are. I know that's another thing I want to get into as well. Things we're looking forward to is, you know, the garage. Making that into a nice workshop, somewhere where we can go into, and it's a nice filming environment. At the minute, it's just crap everywhere.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
The walls have got paint on it from over the years of practicing airbrushing and stuff like that. So, you know, I want to take.
It's time for a revamp.
It's time for a revamp and make it look nice and fresh and a nice clean environment to do things. So when we do eventually get onto the Escort, I've got everything I need where I need it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. White walls. I'm thinking as well. This is my plan, because I bought a new toolbox, guys. I have bought a new toolbox. You haven't seen it yet, because
for good reason.
I've had it for a few weeks now. But there's a good reason why I've done it. But I want to have a 90-degree worktop all the way around. But I don't want to use the toolbox as a worktop.
No,
I've decided.
It's too expensive.
So I want to go lay it just underneath, so it preserves the toolbox.
Yeah, because kind of the issue you used to have is you had that one little section to do any work.
Cat's attacking me.
You had that one little section to do any work.
Yeah.
You couldn't put parts down. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, guys, before we started filming, sometimes we were having to constantly move stuff off just to do a bit of work.
So we can stand in there and talk. You know,
Yeah.
it's been a bit of one of those things. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not even mine that I'd like to get rid of. You know, I've had far too many years now where I haven't had my garage and I've stored other people's rubbish. So it's time to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for other stuff, yeah, we're looking at cameras as well. We're looking at cameras. We're looking at bits and bobs. We've been trying a new microphone system out. We've been trying a couple of cameras. We're looking at other cameras. And we're looking at other microphones. We're looking at more of everything and new stands, and you know it all will come in good time. But it's like with me not working really at the moment and just muddling through doing the car parts, and then you starting your own business, and it's fresh, literally a fresh business. You know, no one knows where we stand at the moment, so everything will come in good time.
I mean, we did a bit of a backstory. We did a bit of film on the phones. It was good, but we wanted to try something different. So we tried the GoPro, but that GoPro is so temperamental. It just
I think GoPros in general are temperamental.
It didn't want to work, did it?
No, sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. And when it did work, it was great. But then when it didn't want to work, it just was frustrating. But luckily, I broke an S10, so I ended up having to get a new phone. So I got an S20, and then the S10 now becomes the recording phone temporarily while we're looking for a decent camera.
Yeah, it's
true. We're looking for certain things on this camera, but we haven't quite found the model and the price range yet. Yeah,
it's hard because we're not looking for a lot of vlogging cameras and anything.
No, we're not looking for vlogging cameras. We just want a decent recording camera.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing we are trying to do as well is we're going to change how we do the videos.
Record them in general, because me personally, if I can't watch my own content, then I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm very specific on the things that I watch. I can't watch rubbish, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel that our videos, for me personally, if I can't watch them, I wouldn't want to do it. So, you know, I've had a bit of a...
We've both been really picky just recently. There's a reason there's not been a video for a while. It's because we've
been busy, COVID.
Been busy. But the video on the ST, I've been like, it's not right, and then you've had a look at it and you've gone, actually, might just change a few things, and it's half decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we watched it today, and I think I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it as well. It doesn't bore me.
Yeah.
It's just straight to the point, and the bits in between. So at the beginning, you might think they're a bit long, but then once you get the gist of the video, they blend out. That's what I was looking for. But every time he did it, it was a certain colour, and you just draw to it every time. Yeah. It was too bright, and you drawn to that piece, and then it was like you noticed it was a little bit too long. Yeah. But then with the other one, because it's softer colours, and you just zone into the video then. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to create, not this like where before where we had everybody talking, swearing,
stew.
So yeah, we're trying to knock that out. So it's more action shots. We will like talk in there as well, bits that we need to talk about. But instead of talking about everything, we'll talk about certain things. Yeah, and like get to a certain point and go, right, we've done this. This is how we've done it. You know, and then have mainly music and action shots for the time.
Instead of being half an hour long, it's going to be like more like 20 at max.
Yeah, just
condense, talking out, and just get on with the work, basically. Yeah.
Hopefully, that's the plan anyway.
Like you said, though, if you're not happy with it,
change it.
No one's gonna be happy with it, are they? If you're not happy with it yourself, no one's gonna be happy with it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we encourage people to comment and give us criticism, but everybody's so nice. Yeah, it's sort of like there'll be some people that we're gonna watch and we're gonna go, ow, that really hurt my heart. You know what I mean? That's a bit nasty. Come on, but we ain't there yet.
No, but
we've got a little following, and it's growing, consistently growing all the time, and I'm really pleased with it. To be fair, I do appreciate everybody that follows.
Definitely. Well, we haven't put a video up in almost 2 weeks, and we've gone up loads of subscribers, and we really do appreciate it. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the future brings for the channel. Yeah, you know. We're constantly changing little bits, and we'll invest in ourselves, and hopefully we can make it a sustainable thing where we can bring regular content, different cars, because I love working on cars.
Yeah, same.
As long as they're different every time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep buying the same car and doing it again.
No, definitely not.
It has to be a different car. But yeah, I really want to do some restorations and that in the future as well. I want to show people my actual skills in the bodywork sort of side of things, because I'm a sheet metal worker, really. Yeah. I used to be bodywork, filler and that, but I'm not very good at filler anymore. I'm good at making panels.
The thing is as well, like, there's loads of other channels that have got 800 brake scope lines. We're just something a bit different. It's kind of your everyday car.
I'm not saying that in the future, if the money was there and I wasn't tempted to buy a smashed up GTR,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't do it. No, because I would, because that's what a car I
No,
want.
no, but I mean, you like that's something different when you're building. You're remaking to what it is. You're not just going out and buying that straight away.
Oh
and it's
yeah.
just there. You know what I mean? You're not
Yeah,
just,
the R34. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always going to be like some sort of build to it.
Oh, I'd always buy something that's ropey, like the Impreza. The stuff's there.
Yeah.
The stuff's there, but it's a ropey car, man. It needs a lot of attention.
It's set up perfectly. I've not driven it.
It's perfect. Like the setup's perfect on it, but it just needs refining and it needs to look pretty.
Yeah.
Because I like the fact it does look like a piece of junk, because people at the minute try and race it thinking it's a piece of rubbish, and they get really upset when the car just leaves them and they're a speck of dust.
Yeah, definitely.
But for me, it's not my thing. I'd rather have not a shiny engine bay, but a tidy engine bay.
Yeah.
You know, no rust anywhere. I want to try and, I want it set up properly, and I want it to look nice.
You want a nice stealth.
Nice stealth, yeah, but it does need attention because the rear arches are falling out of that thing.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Yeah.
So we'll get on that.
But in other news though, if you like the upcoming ST video, I'm telling you now, guys, you're gonna love the Audi video, because when we shot that and we got back and checked the footage, it was like colours perfect, sounds perfect, like you explaining it's perfect. It's just like
it was a good day.
It was a very good day. Yeah, we both come back really satisfied with it.
Yeah, no, that was good. So I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised with it, and the fact that one of them didn't really make sense, and you told me to make something up on the spot, and I did.
Yeah,
just like there and then.
Yeah,
I was really surprised myself. So it was one of my hates, weren't it?
Yes.
It was one of my hates. One of them was sort of like the same as another one, but worded differently. Like you can't do that. It's the same thing as the last thing. And then he was like, "We need to think of something else," and I'm like. Pfft. And if anybody guesses that, what it is, because only me and Michael know what it is, if anybody guesses what I made up on the spot on one of my hates, I will physically send you out a £10 Amazon gift voucher. And then it'd be the first, not everybody, the first person that gets it right.
Yeah.
So let's clarify that. So the first person that gets that right, I will give you a £10 Amazon voucher.
But no, to stay with us, guys, we are...
And you can't comment multiple times like hate 1, hate 2, hate 2. You have to get it the first comment.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Let's not be dicks about it. So, what else we got, kid?
Oh, you're gonna like this one.
What's that?
This is Old Man Grumbles.
Old Man Grumbles.
Automotive style.
Automotive Old Man Grumbles. Go on then, far away. I always do a lot of talking, so let Michael get in.
I was in the car with my wife the other day, and this guy in front of me was just like, I can't remember what it was. It looked nice and it sounded nice. I think it was a Golf or something like that. Okay, it didn't look nice, but it was a Golf.
It's a Golf. Yeah. Anyway, come
on. And in between the traffic, he was hooning it like bob bob, and then to be fair, he wasn't like overtaking people. He'd slow up right before we got to the traffic, and Amy's like, "Oh, why is he doing that for?" I'm like, "Because he likes the sound of his car. He likes his car. He wants to drive his car. What's your problem? He's not killed anyone. He's not hurting anyone. He's not broke the speed limit because it's national. Like he was on a dual carriageway." It was just like, I don't get why people get so angry when guys are doing that.
I can sort of see both sides. At the end of the day, right? Like it's a bit. If someone's not into that sort of stuff, they can see the irresponsible side of things, like in the sense of, you've got a guy that keeps racing up behind people. In their head, they're being irresponsible. But this guy, he's probably done this 1,000 times. He's probably done it 1,000 times. That this is normal to him. He knows that where his car stops and stuff like that. So for him, it's just sort of like flicking through the gears, listen to his noise. He's probably got his music on, and he's just relaxing.
The thing is, I'd say 95% of people, my cars gets me from A to B. That's what I want to worry about.
Yeah.
Me and you, it's how it gets us from A to B.
Not really. Like even now I'm older, it's not how it gets me from
A to
B, but
but
I
I
respect
mean, like,
my car.
You can still get to A to B in comfort, and there's times where you want to make your journey a bit more fruity, as you would say.
Yeah, get a little bit fruity on the loud pedal.
Because we're definitely not like, oh, it's just got to get us from A to B. I'm more like,
I'm conscious how my car looks.
Comfy. Yeah.
I don't want to drive a rubbish car. I don't want to be seen in a rubbish car. Not because I'm a pedantic knobhead or anything like that, but at the end of the day, right, I've always been seen having nice cars, so there's an image that you have to sort of portray a little bit, and I'd like to maintain that image. Once people start assuming that I'm driving nails, then they think that I'm doing bad in life, and you know, once that starts happening, then you know people judge, and I don't like being judged. It's a phobia, I think. I don't like to be judged. Don't judge me. End of the day, stuff happens in your life. You know, even if I did have to drive a run around, something's happened in my life that's caused that, and don't judge me.
Yeah, that's more.
I'd still make it look nice though. Yeah, I'd try. May not be fast, but I'll try make it look nice. I'd end up doing a max power. I'd look. Do you know what? I've been on this page now. Diverting a little bit. I've been divert. Let's divert.
Well, that's my old man grumble over. So
yeah, your old man grumble. You don't like your wife telling people what they can and can't do in their car.
Exactly. You listening, babe? Yeah.
Shut up. It's their life, not yours. No, yeah, diverting. At one point, I think if the channel's doing all right and there's money spare, cash.
Oh, I know where you're going with this, and I'm 100% on board.
What?
I don't even know what you're going to say.
Okay.
You said max power, so I'm
yeah, max power. Basically, I really want to build an old style 2000s, 2009 era max power car. You know, like when you used to see the Vauxhall Corsas. Prime example, my friend Stephen, he had a Vauxhall Corsa, and we built this car at college.
Oh, the white one.
Smilers.
Yeah, yeah.
We built that. We built that at college for him, and it was a max power car basically, but it had a 1.4 engine in it. It sounded nice, but it was like really loud, like straight piped car, but massive, huge body kit on it, but it didn't go anywhere.
You heard it before you seen it.
I never used to like those style of cars when I was growing up, but the more I see of them, I think I want to go and find one and rescue it.
You mean the ones where you like open the boot?
Oh, he's like
and
speakers
like
everywhere. Yeah, and there's lights all over it. They look ridiculous. But
yeah, stupid body
I'm
kits,
just amused by them at the moment. They're amusing me, and I feel like I fancy taking a challenge and either building one from scratch.
I think we should do it from scratch.
From scratch, or finding one that was a really famous one back in the day, like a magazine car, and restoring it.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool. You know, like Monkey London, he's done it, hasn't he? He's got an old Max Power car, that Escort, and now he's turned it into a track car. But I wouldn't turn it into a track car. I'd go back to its roots, fresh everything, but my own take on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's something. Anyway, digressing.
Most women like to dress nice. Most men like their cars to look nice. Sounds great.
There's a new true saying in that as well. You know, you go into a woman's house, it's clean, but you go into a woman's car, it's a shit tip. But you go into a man's car, it's clean. You go into a man's house, it's a shit tip.
Yeah. And
I'm completely the same. I hate having stuff in my boot, you know, rattling around. Number one pet peeve, I hate stuff in my boot. I hate having it in the boot. If I can empty my car, I will.
In fact, when was it? Divert again.
Diverting again.
When I had that
diverting.
When I had a Vetra, a Vauxhall Vetra, and there was shit in it, it used to like. There's just stuff in the boot. You didn't like it, did you?
No, I just hate. You know, when you're driving down the road, you can do ting 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 in front of the boot, and I'm like, why? Either tie it down or just
take it out.
I just like, you know. Though sometimes I don't have the radio on, I just listen to the road tyre noise, and that's a weird thing to do. But sometimes I don't have a radio because most of my cars have always had dodgy radios. The Audi, again, you'd think, oh, the Audi's got a wicked radio. The sound system's awesome in it, but only when it's on Spotify. The radio don't work properly because I bought the stereo second hand and the DAB area. I need to get that, and yeah, it's just a hodgepodge of stuff, but it works and it looks nice. It looks nice in the car, so that's all I care about, is it looking good in the car. I don't care if it works. Occasionally I'd want it to work, you know, when you're raging, you're listening to music, but for me, I like literally driving down the road listening to the tyre noise. I find it peaceful there, listening to the gradients of the road, and I just like silence. There's
no reason why I turn my radio off, and that's because I've got a big exhaust that doesn't sound as loud as it should do.
Yeah, if you've seen the size of the muffler on that car, it's ridiculous. It's like the length of the bottom of the car.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not loud, it's not like, you don't turn it on and it's like bah, 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 bah.
I think that car is, for me, it'd be, as I'm getting older and more boring, I think it needs to be a little bit louder, but not much more.
Yeah, I don't want it like
cut
in your
the
face
off
loud.
A little bit and put pipe on it. Just cut it off a little bit. Yeah. Half it. Right.
Oh, your old man grumble.
My old man grumble is, Stuart will laugh at this, is people on their freaking horns when people make mistakes. I don't get me wrong, right? I understand people suffer a road rage, and I don't get it. I don't get road rage. I don't suffer a road rage because I always put myself in that other person's position, in the sense of, you don't know what day they've had, you don't know what they've been doing, you don't know where they're from, so they might not even know the area. So if they need to cut in all of a sudden, I'm not going to say no to them, because you get some people that are like be on the horn and they'll race up to the side of them. You're just going to cause an accident, and they're not going to get home, and you're not going to get home. Someone's going to get hurt. So instead of just being a knob and holding on the horn, and just generally making the situation worse than it has to be, back off and let them in. Everybody's getting where they need to get to then without no aggro. It's just, I don't see the point
that
in.
Really does. I've been in the car with him, and it really does wind you
I
up,
get
doesn't
more
it?
wound up with people getting wound up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you need to do that? There's no need for it. Just let that person in. I know, and Michael, get used to be like, he gets to get annoyed with the people that drive down the motorway and cut in.
But in all fairness, I did do a lot of driving in the van. And
it is annoying. Don't get me wrong. Those people,
you intentionally do it.
Yeah, when you're intentionally being a knob. But in another sense, they're out your way.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to squeeze up past your car, and you just let them in, let them go, because they're obviously in a rush to get somewhere. And again, you don't know why. Generally, if Land Rover owners or BMW owners, I was going to say Audi, backfire. No, but generally, if these people are aggressive, then just let them go, because it's not worth the heartache.
In fact, we had this. I'll divert again, but it's relevant, should we say?
Okay, so relevant diversion.
We went to Scotland last weekend, and Amy was driving, and she went on the M6, we'd just gone past Wolverhampton, I think, and she was overtaking a car, 70 miles an hour, completely she was doing fine, she was overtaken. Next thing you know, this Mercs come right up, started flashing her, and she hadn't finished overtaking. So she obviously overtook. I said, pull in, let him pass. So she pulled in, and the first thing she's done is fingers gone. I was like, put your fingers down. Girls in the car, you don't know what he's going to do. It's like, just let him get on his way. And then, but to be fair though, the guy was being an idiot, because as Amy was coming up to another car, he sat right by her, and as she slowed down, he shut off.
Yeah, of course. That's what that's a lot of the time. Sorry about the vape. A lot of people, I've had it. I get people do it all the time, and a lot of the time, if I'm in one of my moods where I'm going, do you know what? Actually, screw you. If you're gonna be a knob, I'll be a knob, and I'll just stay there.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time they'll try and go undertake you, which is illegal. So I flip into that lane back, and then they'll try and do it again. I'm not doing dangerously. I obviously know where I am positionally, but sometimes I go, screw you. Let's have a little bit of fun, just for my own amusement. But
yeah, but it's come back.
I get that. I do get that. It is annoying.
It's coming back to that rage thing, isn't it? It's like it's pitch black.
But there's no need to sit there effing and blinding at somebody.
Exactly.
Just if it's one of these, like at the end of the day, right? He's a businessman. He thinks he's better than everybody else. Karma will get him. I'm a big believer in karma. Karma will get him eventually. You drive down the road by a mile, you might see him up the embankment. That's karma. But
no, I was just trying to relate it to her as well, because unfortunately, women are still classed. Well, not. I don't want to sound sexist here, but
say it.
No, like
say it. You've already done the damage. The hole's been dug.
Basically, like if he'd have pulled in, and if I wasn't in the car, he could have pulled in front of her, stopped it, and got out the car and beat her up with the girls in the car.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit different, because I'm not saying she can't stick up for herself, but I'm probably more in a position where I could defend myself more than my wife could.
Depending on your wife, obviously. His wife's not really in a position to defend herself, because she's not really been put in those situations much. But
I'm just thinking, like, when you come back to it, you don't know what kind of day they've had. So if they've had a really bad day at work, and you've just tipped them over the edge because they've made a mistake, what they're going to do? They could do anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So come back to what you said though, just let them get past. And that's what I said to them.
If they're being an idiot, just let them go past. Let it be somebody else's problem. If someone wants to challenge them, then they're, they'll meet their match one day where someone wants to challenge them, and they'll get the better of them.
Exactly.
It doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
Or they'll have an accident and they'll get scared and they'll naturally slow down. But yeah, my pet peeve is just road rage in general. I don't get road rage. I'm not saying I've never had road rage.
Mm-hmm. We've all had road rage.
Well, that guy. The only time I get road rage, and this is, I don't know if this is even the same category. It's just me being, but I've been driving to the same job for 9-10 years, doing the same road, same everything. And I know the lanes that I'm supposed to be into, and I got a guy come round, and he was honking his horn, doing the wanker sign, everything. Like, I know how to do it. I do it for a joke, whatever. I know these signs. I know what they mean, and I know what the horn means. He's obviously annoyed with me for some strange reason. I'm in the right lane, and I know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's from the area or what, but he obviously was annoyed, thinking that I was in the wrong lane, going in the wrong direction, and I've obviously cut him off in his lane or whatever. So he's honking, screaming at me, and I lose my rag. So next thing you know, I stop, I go round the inside of him, and I'm following around the roundabout, asking him to pull over, screaming at him, and now he's realised that he's made a fatal mistake, because he's obviously looked at the road markings and gone, whoops. So I do none other than wind down my window, hang out the car whilst driving round the roundabout, and punch his wing mirror, and break it, whilst I'm driving around a roundabout, just coming off a dual carriageway. So it has happened, don't get me wrong, but it's just when people are stupid, the fact that they can sit there and have the audacity to pap someone when they're unsure themselves.
Yeah.
You know, if I was in the wrong lane and someone cut me up and I knew 110% that was the lane I was supposed to be in, put my hand up, I instantly, sorry about that, I shouldn't have done that. Or you know, in another sense, you know, when they do things where on the opposite foot, I'm the sort of person that will, I'll see it before it's even happened, because you sort of see their car positioning in the road, their head movements. You know, they're obviously looking at the sat nav or, you know, whatever going on. They're looking at the sign and going, "Oh crap, back off, let them in." There's no need to arouse a situation at all, because you're just going to cause an accident. And the most important thing to me is getting home to your bed safe, so you can go to sleep and wake up in the morning and do it all again. So, you know, that's my pet peeve is road rage. I just don't get it. Just chill, man. Just everybody will get home.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, if there's traffic in the road, it's going to slow you down. If there's no traffic on the road, you're going to get home anyway. Either way, you're going to get home. Yeah. But you got home safely.
Yeah, definitely.
And you haven't made someone's life that little bit more miserable than it has to be.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you've changed a lot since I've had my not my rant at you when you were getting road ragey and stuff, but you've definitely chilled out a lot more, and you consider other people a lot more. As before, you'd like race up the side of them and like, nah, fuck them, just let them.
Oh, when I first started at my old company, I wouldn't let anyone in. If they're coming down, I'd be like, I'm in the van, I'm in a bigger thing than you. You ain't coming in front of me. Yeah. And that's how I treated it.
But yeah, no point.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help anybody.
I found I was getting worked up throughout the journey, because I'd be like, I want to get home, and I get home and I'm stressed and tired. Yeah, now it's just like,
just chill, just drive home. You're like, how was your drive? Nice. You know, I've obviously, you know, I've let some people in, and the journey's been sound, and you know, it's my good deed for the day. Someone, you know, was in the wrong lane, so I let them in, and everybody was safe, and you know, sleep good at night knowing that person may have got home without. Thing is, they're probably getting worked up anyway if they don't know where they are. So they're in a tizzy themselves, going, "Oh no!"
It's quite a big subject, and I know we're going on a bit about it now, but when you're flustered and you don't know where you are, it is daunting, isn't it?
I make mistakes all the time. I mean, look at us when we had to drop your van back. You didn't know roughly where you were, so you had to make a questionable decision to get into a lane, so you didn't have to drive another two junction.
Decision in my eyes. I shouldn't have done it.
Wow,
because it put you at risk.
Yeah, but let's explain that one. I'll explain what I had to do too.
Okay, so I had to drop my van off, because obviously something happened at work, and it was my last day, so I had to go and hand the van back. And I was following my sat nav, but the way the sat nav looked and the way the road looked was a bit different.
Technology's fault.
Yeah, well, it's my own fault for not paying attention as well. It's just driver error ultimately.
And I was getting a bit flustered because my car wasn't working properly that day.
Did I know what?
No, you didn't know.
No. And then you come up to it, and it was like, you need to turn left in a quarter of a mile. We was in the outside lane on the dual carriageway, and it was like coming off. I was like, what do I do? So I made a decision. My eyes was the wrong decision. I'll come off.
And you filled into the traffic.
I was looking, and Jay. The next thing, Jay's managed to come in, but I did put you in a bad position.
Yeah, on my side of things, you know, my car wasn't working great. Well, it was working fine. It just was flat. It just felt flat, and it just wasn't doing what it normally would do. So I'm more concentrating on what's wrong. I'm thinking what could be the issue with the car. Anyway, so I'm trying to follow Michael, who's got in a van, got considerably more power than me on that day. Normally that wouldn't be the case, but on that day his van was faster, and he's just weaving in and out of traffic, and I'm just trying to keep up with
van driver, aren't I?
He's being the typical van driver, and I'm just trying. But in his mind, he just wanted to get the van back so he could be done with that.
I did have
That
a
was a
bad
bad
morning.
day. Yeah, it was just one of those. He wanted to get out of that situation, drop the van off. I'm done. Then I don't have to deal with that situation anymore, which is fine. Everybody. That's what I say. You don't know someone's situation.
Yeah.
So for me, like trying to follow him, I'm getting a bit worked up because I'm trying to keep up with him, and he's making questionable decisions left, right, and centre because he's worked up about trying to get this van back, which I already knew about. And it come to this junction, and he's just basically just
left you.
he just left turn straight into the I can see. Oh right, clean your glasses. Who? Me.
Well, I ain't got glasses on.
Oh, it's me. My glasses are clean.
It's because of the light.
It's because of the light shining down above.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So he's made a questionable decision on coming off, and I've had to make a questionable decision, and a very, very dangerous decision because I was running out of road fast and I wasn't looking. Basically, my head. It's my hair, my little hair island. Let me finish my story.
Oh, God, Alex.
Anyway, so I basically filtered into a lane and I didn't even look to see if there was any cars there, which there was because we were amongst traffic, and I just turned for... At that moment in time, I was willing to take whoever was out next to me. I was willing to have a car crash. I don't know what come over me, but I just turned. I think it was more of the fact of I didn't know where I was and I didn't have a sat nav on me, so it was one of those like I have to follow you sort of thing. I have to follow you, whether it was like life or death. So yeah, I just turned. I closed my eyes and turned. Thankfully, nothing was there.
Yeah, I think the car had seen what was going on because of how quickly I would come in and must have just realised.
Assumed, yeah. Again, he didn't beep at me or anything like that. He didn't. He was fine.
He backed off, let you in.
He backed off and let me in. He's seen the situation before it even happened. So
cool story when he's more dragons.
Oh, talking about Luke, actually, I think we're going to do those videos, mate. I think we are going to do those videos.
Yeah, definitely interested.
I think we'll do the first one with Michael, though, because obviously he isn't an expected non-Vaselined cavity.
What does that mean? What does it even mean?
So, yeah. Luke knows what it means, and you will find out. Okay.
I'm the apprentice.
So, yeah, we're going to do that anyway. But as for content, we've got videos sort of ready to go. We're just in amongst editing, and there's a lot of stuff going on in our lives at the moment. So
if you don't see a video up, it's probably because we're being a bit more meticulous about it.
Prime. If anybody else watching this as well, and you like Snap-on tools, go and see Luke's channel and see what he's got in the van.
I love your videos, Luke. Honestly, I miss your New Tool Tuesday. Or what is it, New Tool Tuesday?
He tries to claim he's busy, but he's a massive liar. He ain't busy. He rips everybody off in the day and goes home on his jet. He goes home on his private jet home. Oh well. Nah, yeah. I think we are going to come and do those videos with you, mate. Anyway, so I look forward to talking to you with that. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll sort it.
Yeah.
I love you, mate. I love you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everybody that's joined now has come to the end of the podcast. So the podcast / me and Michael chatting and catching up and telling a few stories, which I think I quite like this way because we've not stopped or been awkward through the whole thing. It's
structure. It's
structure. We've been busy. Has anybody got any questions anyway? Just before we the bugger off.
Yeah. And
carry on with our measly lives. Oh, if anybody's wondering as well. We're going to be recording an episode on Sunday, which is going to be another Forester episode. Hopefully, we're going to have this car sorted. This is the bane of my life.
Number 10. Just throw it out. Episode number 10.
Episode number 10 after a 3-part series.
Yeah.
It's 7 episodes too long. Great. Yeah, Michael's going to be doing all the heavy lifting. I'm probably going to use minimal spanner work. I'll probably do minimal of everything because I've torn my shoulder blade. I've ripped the muscle in between my shoulder blade and my back, and it is very sore. Which is, if I get into certain positions or deep breaths or anything like that, it feels like someone's standing on my chest, and I yelp very loud.
Well, hopefully I don't.
I feel like I've got a lead balloon in my lung. So, but yeah, I've been in hospital and that today, so everything's all right. It's just I'm not allowed to lift anything.
No.
For a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks.
Hopefully I don't take my arm out. Oh no, the panel's on now.
Yeah, I fixed that panel to the car now. In fact, we could put those countersunk
bolts
in as well, so they're a little bit more flush.
So the apprentice is getting put to the test.
Yeah, we're gonna make Michael do something for once in his life.
If we're not threading your sump bolts, then I'm doing it wrong.
I had to go and buy a new car just so I can get a sump off it. I literally had to buy a car so I could get a new sump, so it was unthreaded, even though I could fix it.
The worst thing about it was I don't know if on the video you don't see it, but I'm literally like, gone tight, gone loose, and I did that for about 5 minutes. I was and Jay was like, "What are you doing?" I was like,
I'll tell you another little story about that, and Luke will appreciate this one just for the sheer fact of he's a snap-on man. He was using my Tenga Tools ratchet, which doesn't have on or off, so he didn't know whether he was going on or off, which is normal lefty loosey righty tighty. But when you're learning and you haven't used a spanner for a while, those things don't come around too often. You need to train yourself for that. I mean, I know instantly when I'm doing it if it's coming on or off because I've used a ratchet or spanner for that long. But snap-on have on off on it. So
love it.
Off is obviously lefty loosey and on is righty tighty. And I've got a plethora of snap-on tools that all say these on off, and he happened to use the only one that doesn't say it.
Yeah. Because
it had a comfy plastic grip on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've got more snap-on ones with nice comfy grips on. But lesson learned anyway.
Yeah.
On off.
To be fair, I took the Forester off. I took the Forester one off and I didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to do some more snap-on reviews as well. I'm going to review some tools. Luke said we can borrow some and we can put them to the test for a video. So that should be cool. I'm looking forward to doing. It's just little bits of content that's free that we can put out there where it ain't costing us too much.
Both.
It helps us. Yeah, it helps Luke. Well, it doesn't help Luke. It helps his franchise snap-on, and it helps us grow the channel a little bit more. So, get somewhere where we need to be. Which is earning some money so we can keep building things and become prolific West Midlands car builders.
Yeah, I'm alright. My car goes 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, anyway.
Any questions before we go?
No one wants one. No one wants to answer. See you later. Oh, who's that?
Would you ever do a vlog style video in the future?
Depends if there's more call for it. There's no reason why we couldn't. There's no reason why we couldn't do it in general, to be honest with you. But I could take you on my busy lifestyle. I'm normally have a nap around 12 o'clock in the unit, so I could take you along with that as well. Stream that live on Twitch. People nap time with Jay. No, but yeah, there's no reason for it. But borrow, aka on that tool. Borrow and not give back. If it lands in my hands, it's mine. Simple as that. Mine.
But back to that vlogging thing. It was just because a lot of YouTubers do it. We wanted to stand out a bit, and we didn't want to
not stand out, but we didn't want to
not stand out. You know what I mean? We didn't want to do like
because there's two of us. It's awkward to do vlog. What we're going to do, like hug each other walking down the road with a camera, and that really hurt my shoulder, lifting my arm up like that. That's what I mean about doing that. I can't do that.
They can't see it on camera, so it's fine.
Defo vlog. Yeah, I mean, we could do.
I mean, if we didn't...
It depends what happens in the future. At the minute, we're just trying to build a steady community. If it works where it's easier and faster to do it, that way we can have a bigger turnaround, which I'm sure you can because you're filming that day and you're posting that day and then you go on to the next day. But when you've got such a small community, you want to try and cram as much as the building so they don't get switched off.
Yeah.
But with bigger communities, I feel that you could get away with the vlog style stuff because people are watching, so they just want content. At the minute, we haven't really got a fan base big enough for us to warrant the amount of content we need to do. Yeah. We just need to put ourselves out there, which is making the best videos possible at this moment in time to draw people in. Well,
the thing is as well, I feel like I'm getting more confident in the camera. Whereas I think if I do a vlog, I don't think it would come across that I'm that interested in what I'm doing because I'm a bit nervous about it, if you know what I mean.
If there's more call for vlog style, then yeah.
My missus would not get in a car for a video.
Lindsay would,
but not now.
But not at the moment because she's obviously pregnant. So I don't want to do. I wouldn't want to put her at risk with questionable decisions that get made in vehicles.
Yeah.
Just for the scare factor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's not very good with stuff like that.
Another thing we get onto, I know we're going to end soon, but
it's alright, keep talking it, man.
when it comes to like making questionable decisions, it's more like you wouldn't do something stupid if I'm in the car, and I wouldn't do something if you're in the car. I'm going to do something when I'm on my own, and you're going to do something.
I'm stupid on my own. I don't race with people in the car. I wouldn't. I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't live with myself if something happened. Thank you. And for Sam, mate, I'll send you the link to my OnlyFans after this. All right, mate. I'll send you it in WhatsApp. In fact, I'll cancel the subscription and I'll just send you the first
PayPal. We want PayPal.
Yeah, PayPal pot or whatever it's called, or PON. Yeah,
Pay us directly. Bank transfer.
Direct, yeah, bank transfer. No, yeah, but I'll send you the nude straight, mate. It's fine. £2 a nude. Is that all right? Or
you're not having it, Stu? Is that what you're asking me?
He said to me earlier, his exact words were, because we're trying to sell his car and get him into another one just so he can, until he finds the car that he wants to buy. He said, I do not want to drive a Focus. And now he's asking you if you want to sell your car. So either you do or you don't, mate. It's simple as that, isn't it? You want to drive a Focus.
What's wrong with a Focus, first of all?
You don't want to drive that grey one at the car park that we got for a breaker. It's alright, car. It just needs a clutch. It'd be fine. Extra if I have to dress up, alright, Sam. £2.50 a picture. I've got a kid to feed now. But yeah, so there's plenty to do in the future and whatnot. There's plenty to do in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. So,
but sometimes it's quite hard to decide what to do.
What we need is the people that are with us is to tell their friends just to subscribe, and whether they don't watch it at all, just get everybody to share. This is not just us. If you're happy, then just
Cosy engine in the Focus.
Rear wheel drive Cosy engine.
I know that sound. Obviously, if I had the money, I could do. But I spoke to you today about it. No, the Mark II ST engine.
Yeah, the 5 pots.
Yeah,
the 5 pots or the RS engine. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's actually seen how much YB engines are going for at the moment. But you're looking at between £5,000 and £7,000 for a YB engine. That's no gearbox, no nothing bolted to it. It's just a engine and block. It's like between £5,000 and £7,000.
Yeah.
I do keep an eye on prices like that occasionally. You're my only friend.
Back to the engine thing. One thing I could do is black top bottom end, ST top end.
So my Escort bottom end.
Yeah,
with your ST top end with the turbo, and that will be enough decompression to
allow for the pressure
difference for a turbo, so you can force induction. That's just being picky. That's just being picky. That's just being really picky. But yeah,
he wants it because my car's faster than his.
I don't think it is.
We'll put it to the test.
We got company. Oh God, I think we're being raided on Ark Survival, guys. I've stayed on the PlayStation this whole time and you didn't even know. But yeah, no, I do appreciate everything that's going on, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in the background that's going on, personal and to do with the channel, and the channel is the second priority. Life comes first. Until said moment where it becomes priority number one, where we can pay the bills with it and do builds and just do all the cool stuff that every other YouTuber gets to do, and why shouldn't I?
It's like you said that we're not.
It's only views. That's it. Views pay for our lifestyle.
But we're not at the minute. We're not focused on it. We're enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah, we're learning
bringing
the
you
craft.
content, and
we're learning the craft.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody that says they don't go do YouTube for the money are liars.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yeah,
but we're at the moment. End goal would be to be paid by YouTube. And
then we could buy Luke out of all his tools.
And keep buying Luke a van every week because I've had one. Anyway, I'd be broke. He'd still make me broke even if I was a millionaire. He'd make me broke. Honestly, I'd
finance it.
Yeah, he'd buy a yacht. He'd buy a yacht and go, I'll go down Jason's house and just sell him a truck. It funds my yacht. But yeah, so at the moment we're learning the craft, enjoying it, trying different things here and there, and just gaining equipment. Basically, you know, we've bought stands, different style of editing, and there's still more things that we can buy to help improve quality of picture.
One of those things as well. I don't think I would have bought a Focus ST if it wasn't for YouTube. I'm not saying I bought it for YouTube. It's just because I had the Vectra, and it was just like I was driving that around. And
Where's the box? In the garage where you delivered it. I'm building units around it so I don't get broken because it's expensive, man.
Have you sold his old box yet?
Yeah, it went about 2 days after. Yeah. Didn't last long. It went down the road. It's not that far away. It's not that far away from my house. So yeah, but yeah. We love you guys, and we want you to share, subscribe. Well, sub and subscribe is the same thing.
All that kind of stuff.
Comment, tell us we're knobs, everything that you want. I'm not bothered, but
actually, do you like the new layout we've done with this podcast?
Well, I think we could change the GTR to something a little bit more realistic to what we've got.
No, that's fine. Yeah, we could
but
change,
it's
we'll change
nice,
it. We'll
so
change
we can
it
make the
monthly.
pictures a bit bigger, so they're touching. You know, like touching tips like that.
Yeah.
Like touching tips, yeah. But yeah, no.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for
no,
watching.
it's been nice. I've actually enjoyed this. It's been nice because we've had structure as well. It's been cool.
Yeah, well, the part at the start wasn't.
Yeah, that was a fail on your behalf, but it made the video, I think.
Yeah.
So we rehearsed it and it still went wrong.
In
rehearsals it was fine, but as soon as it goes live, that's it. Don't put us on live TV because anything that could go wrong will.
It happened last time, didn't it, when we first done it?
Yeah, when you could hear us.
We muted.
Starting soon, and then you can hear us having a conversation. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, enjoy yourself, guys. Have a nice evening. Have a good weekend. Kiss your family, and we'll speak to you soon.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The next video is on the Focus.
Monday night, I think.
Sunday.
Sunday night.
Sunday, yeah.
Are you gonna? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna upload it whilst we're working.
Oh well, we're working on the Forester.
Yeah.